hypnotist in the room. So my advice is turn that thing off because you're not going to get much good from it, quite frankly. But in addition to what you mentioned, I would like to say we also have to take responsibility for our own thoughts and emotions, because that is really where we do have control, right? Because let's face it, we live in a world where we're going to be confronted with all kinds of issues, conflicts, information that maybe doesn't resonate with us. But how do we respond to that is the key. Do we take a situation that can potentially be stressful? Do we let that stress us out, or do we just say, hey, it is what it is, let me take a deep breath, let me let it go and just move forward, right? Because that really is where we have the most power, is power over our own thoughts and emotions. And our emotions are very powerful, and they do affect every cell in our body. And I could attest to it. I've been there myself. Years ago, I was very, very stressed out, and it got to the point where my health started to break down because of it. So,
if you're comfortable, and you want to share that story with the world, I think it's a powerful story.
Yeah, I'd love to. I mean, I kind of, I've always kind of thrived on stress, so to speak. I felt like I'm the kind of person, and this is just an idea about myself that I developed along the way, a story that we create, right, about ourselves, that I function or I do well under stress. So I kind of, I have adopted that idea. And so for many years, I would put myself in stressful environments, and then I kind of thrived on those environments. But I kept taking more and more on, to the point to where as I aged and my body couldn't deal with the stress, because you're constantly releasing hormones that do affect your body physically, eventually there's a breaking point. And for me, it got to a breaking point. So about 5.5 years ago, started to have panic attacks. I had a 2-hour panic attack on a plane ride.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. And I don't know if you've ever had a panic attack. That's a really, really long one. Felt like I couldn't breathe. My heart was going to stop. And really, my only intention was not to die on the plane. That's all I could really focus on. I was like, just get me home and let me crawl into bed and I'm good, right? But I started to have regular attacks, anxiety, developed depression. I was stressed out big time. My adrenals were shot. So one morning I woke up and had a lump on my lymph node, nickel size, chest pain, tingling in the smell. I mean, I had all kinds of problems. It was really, really bad. But I was fortunate enough to be led by spirit one evening. I had such a bad day that my plan that day was to go home, drink a full bottle of whiskey, take some pills, and was hoping I wouldn't wake up. That's where I was at. But as I was driving home, a voice came in and led me and told me to go somewhere, and really wasn't all that interested in abiding or listening to that voice. But so I kind of refused, but it came back a couple more times, and I eventually relented and said, okay, well, what do we got? And I rerouted, showed up to this little gift shop, metaphysical gift shop, a couple minutes from my home, about 5 minutes away from my home. And lo and behold, this gift shop had a number of people that were doing a presentation in the yoga room on an energy-based frequency device.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First and last time they were there. Actually, a couple months later, that place had completely shut down. So I just happened to be there on that day when they were there, and I crashed their presentation, tried the device. I didn't really feel anything. I wasn't really all that impressed. But I went home, still with the same intention that I had prior to getting there. But it knocked me out. It actually put me in such a relaxed state that I couldn't do anything but go straight to bed. I was completely wiped. But that put me in a rest and digest mode. So it took me from fight or flight to rest and digest and knocked me out. And I went straight to bed. But I woke up 4 hours later. I felt refreshed, rejuvenated. I fight or flight to rest and digest. And so that piqued my interest, and that kind of got me on this journey of learning and understanding who we are, that we are all energy, and that we interact with energy all the time, whether we know it or not. And that energy can heal, depending on the kind of energy, the quality of energy, but it could also be destructive. And so 5.5 years later, here I am, and my whole world is about energy at this point. So
very, very powerful. And one of the things that you personally taught me about energy was the power of music, 432 hertz.
Yeah.
Harmony, frontal lobe.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
No. It's always difficult, I think, but I was doing that pregnant pause. So 432 hertz, that causes harmony in the frontal lobe, and it's so powerful. And what I would like to do is ask you to share about that. And then what I'm going to do while you're doing that is I'm going to go to YouTube, and I think I can actually share the screen to show someone an example of 432 hertz and how easy it is to find and how easy it is to shift your energy just with that one click.
Absolutely. Well, it's no secret that music affects us. I mean, when we listen to music, some music makes us joyful, some makes us cry, some can make us angry, right? And I came across this idea, or the history of kind of what has happened in the music world. And back in the 40s, all instruments were tuned to 432. And then they created a new standard, and they shifted everything to 440. And as I started to investigate it, I thought it was curious that they would do that. But before I move into that, I would like to say, so I'm a big fan of Nikola Tesla, and he, in my opinion, was one of the greatest geniuses that's ever walked the planet. And he had this fascination, he had this obsession with the numbers 369, right? And these are like maybe not master numbers, but these are numbers that are fundamental to the creation of the universe, or the way the universe works, right? Well,
you have Naimah's attention. Look at this.
Yes.
Tell me more.
I'm always looking to solve the mysteries of the universe.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm all about that myself, and that's kind of part of.
We all are, which is what's the beauty about having us all here today. So yeah. So let's talk about the 369. These master numbers.
Yeah, so 369 so think of like 3, or think of the most stable shape known to man. That's the least complex shape. Is a triangle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's three sides, but it creates a stable shape, and then you can actually a pyramid as an example. Mm-hmm. A very simple shape, but it's super strong, and you could build it out as high as you want, and it'll maintain its integrity because of that shape, right? So going back to Tesla, he said, if you want to understand the keys of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. But he also was obsessed with 369, to the point to where before he would walk into a building, he would walk around the building 3 times, walk around the block 3 times before he would enter a building. Okay, he was obsessed with this. And then when going back to the 432, and when you look at that number and you break it down in terms of numerology, it breaks down to these numbers, right? 440 breaks down to 8, right? 4, 4, and then 0, 8. So there's not that balance as much as you would get with a 3 or a 6 or a 9.
Okay, but can I challenge something?
Sure.
Isn't 8 infinity on its side?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the way a lot of people, I mean, 8 has a resonance as well.
Not what you're looking for, because it causes disharmony in the frontal lobe of the brain.
Right. It's not a completely harmonized number like a 3 is.
Got it. Okay, I'm learning here, so I'm going to be asking questions. You know, you're always my teacher. So.
Right. Well, no, I mean it really is interesting stuff, but 432 essentially breaks down to 9, which is essentially multiples of 3.
Yes.
Right.
And so when you apply cymatics, are you familiar with what cymatics is, Naimah?
I have heard the term recently, and I didn't look it up when I heard it, so I still don't know the meaning. So now you have to break it down and explain.
Oh, okay. So cymatics is the influence of sound or vibration on matter.
Like with a C. Cymatics with a C or an S?
With a C.
A C? Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so there's been many people that have kind of worked with it, and what they do is they have like they'll have like a plate, like a metal plate, and they have sand on there, and they might have a speaker beneath that, and then they'll play music or sound.
Am I supposed to look this up on YouTube and share it?
We can do that, but before we do that, let me explain real quick what it does.
This is amazing. So just I'll look it up. You keep on talking. I'll be on the other screen. So
when you have certain frequencies that are coming through, if they have that resonance of 432, so as the vibration goes through the plate, the sand will self-organize in very specific geometric patterns.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I recently heard somebody talk about the cymatic resonance, I think, and I thought they were mispronouncing. I thought they meant to say seismatic, but now I know that I was not hearing a mispronunciation. Now I understand everything I heard them say. Now it all makes sense because I know the meaning of that one word that I was thinking was another word. See?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you should check out. Definitely, we'll play a video here because it's really, really impressive. But...
Okay, I think one second. So I'm going to pause this first and then bring it on so I can do share screen. Right. So share screen. And go for it.
So 432 just has a more cleaner signal than a 440. So 440 creates disharmony, where 432 is more balanced.
Okay, I'm going to show the screen. Would this be the one you want me to show, or is there a better one?
That one's a good one, but maybe get rid of that little...
the shop now thing. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do that. Thank you to the listening and watching audience for being so generous with me. Close. So we just want to, there we go.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm just going to pause this for the listening audience and the watching audience real quick. So when you look at this video, you're going to see numbers to the left. And just so everyone's tuned in, they're showing you what this sand does. I think it's sand, pebbles of some sort, right? How it keeps on shifting at the different frequencies. So pay attention to the fact that the numbers are changing to the left. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to continue playing this.
Wow. Wow. Now what this is just sand?
I think this is sand or salt or something they use to shaker. Raj, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, it's typically sand, but it doesn't really matter. It's just, it could be like salt, you know. I mean, it's just affecting. It's just vibrating to the frequency that's being emitted.
And so I think should be very confronting for people that look what's happening to
Amazing.
man. It's changing as the frequency changes.
Now, for Jodi, for those who are listening to you can't see it, maybe you can tell them your Facebook page to go to so they can see this. Because I mean, this.
Yeah.
I want to try it. Like I say, try this at home. I want to try this at home. To play this music with salt. Was it salt?
Well, sand. I mean, but salt. You probably could be anything that's like a grain or something fine enough to where it's going to vibrate and be able to self-organize, right?
I'm gonna try salt. I guess I'm gonna try some salt and put it on what is this, a plain sheet of black paper or
so it's like a plate, like a metal plate.
Okay, it's a metal plate. All right, so I need to find a dark metal plate, pour some salt on it and play the music, and the salt will organize itself. Yeah,
but it's got to be close enough to where there's the vibration, because typically they have the speaker right below or pretty close to it,
so it can feel the vibration.
Yeah,
right, the vibration is what gets it.
Speakers, put the plate on top of the speaker.
Okay, so I have a question. You see people with headphones on all the time,
right? And
they're playing music, and so that means the vibration is going directly into their bodies, into their cells of their bodies. Does it matter what kind of music you're listening to? If it's very disturbing music,
absolutely, 100%.
All flipping day long. And then I'm just gonna go here. So I'm gonna stop sharing the screen for a moment and welcome Zelda to the
No.
I don't think she wants to be visual. She just wanted to make sure.
Okay, so I don't know. I put my here. Okay, there we go. Sorry, Zelda Delda. Love you.
But let everybody know what your YouTube, your Facebook page, so they can, know.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The broadcast, forgot to hit the live button, so it's only on YouTube right now.
Oh, okay. So so is it live on YouTube?
It is live on YouTube. It's Suson Essentials. I and Andrew both shared the link on YouTube. Shared the link on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to Jodi Suson or Suson Essentials, I'll make sure it's on Suson Essentials as well. I'm going to share it right now to my page. So you should be able to go to the Suson Essentials on Facebook, go to Suson Essentials on YouTube, and follow what we're doing. But if you go to Facebook, you have to click the link to go to YouTube. Okay. Make sense, everybody? So Suson Essentials is S is in Sam, U is in ukulele, S is in Sam, O is in Oscar, N is in Nancy, and essentials, like essential oils. So like that. But so to me, so here's what where I want to go with this, just for a moment in time, if I could. So someone's walking down the street, right, Naimah? And it's 7:31. We have to run some commercials.
Oh, okay.
So when we run some commercials, and I'll tell you some cool news about what's happening to you. It's not really cool, but it's important to know what's happening to you when you're walking down the street wearing those headphones.
Ooh.
And let's see if we can. I'm trying to make sure I.
Want me to go ahead?
Yes, thank you.
We all say we would like to be wealthy, but wealth isn't determined by how much money you have. Wealth is determined by your power to define what money is. The dictionary defines money as something used as a way to pay for goods and services and to pay people for their work. So how would you like to have access to an unlimited source of money? Money that is not taxed by the government. Money that increases as you share the opportunity with others. Money that you can use to pay for goods and services and pay people for their work. I'm talking about Bitcoin. It's the future of independent wealth building. Bitcoin is the new money that you control. Get started building your wealth. Call 312-849-3456. That's 312-849-3456. Do you want to live in a world without war? Join our global peace movement. Heavenly calls to world peace, the restoration of life, transcends culture, religion, ideology, and other boundaries to achieve peaceful harmony in the global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim from the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. Everything you need, what your body needs, is found in nature. So Suson Essentials doesn't do it any other way. Suson Essentials provides your employees and individuals access to over 20,000 nutritional products, and they are shipped direct to your door. Because Suson Essentials is certified in plant-based healing, we're permitted to offer you the best nutritional supplements on the planet. They're non-GMO and sustainably produced, and we take the guesswork out for you. Let Suson Essentials help you take control of your health today.
All right. So, sorry.
A little music intro. Okay, go ahead.
A couple things before we go back. We do have a caller, and I'd like to bring them on. And let's see if I do this right. So I just hit the caller is 773-221.
Yeah, just hit the
red mic. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
So Grand Rising, good morning. Who are we speaking with?
Thank you, Nelson. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today, I believe, will be announced moral relativism. I'm tweeting out moral relativism, which is defined as the idea that all principles have no.
You know what? I'm challenged. Is there a way you could speak? We're having troubles hearing, and I want to make sure that you're heard. It's important that you're heard.
Okay.
So maybe speak up or get closer to the phone or something.
Yes. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah, a little bit. How do you hear that, Naimah?
Raise your voice a bit because it's still coming through kind of muffled.
Do a test. Say test, test, test.
Moral relativism. Can you hear me?
Better.
Okay. Just want to make sure you're heard. Go ahead.
Yes. My thing is what Pope Benedict XVI characterized as the major evil facing the church. Moral relativism is defined as the idea that moral principles have no objective standards. That is a contradiction, and it is something that really needs to be taught in school. I think it should be like the number one issue or curricular activity in school. That when I see these students in these schools on television, I just see them sitting down with this diaper on their face, and it's not really producing anything valuable to them. And I think that if I'm mayor of Chicago, I'm going to establish mandatory curriculum incorporating dealing with this major evil of moral relativism, this dictatorship of relativism. That's my truth for today.
So thank you for sharing that. And I think we need to talk, since we're talking about energy today, let's talk about what that does to the children's energy level, right? So they're wearing, as you put, a diaper over their face, a mask. I can imagine, really can imagine, how that would shift somebody's energy and bring it down. You're not getting air. We need the oxygen.
Yes.
So, I think that's a good point.
The practical application of moral relativism is institutionalizing this practice of verifying the credibility of individuals who have access to the media, be it Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci, or any of these other individuals. Why should we follow what they say? Why should we follow their narrative? We need to verify who they are and the nature of their energy of intention.
Thank you.
Intention is a mathematically quantifiable phenomenon. It should be codified into law, because what is being promulgated to the people is falsehood.
We all agree. I know. I know that people need to have the freedom of choice if they want to wear a mask and cut off their oxygen supply. Go ahead and do it, but don't force your belief system on someone else.
You know what's interesting? I have never ever seen a frenzy about trying to force people to believe this the way I have with this situation. And I've gotten into some unfortunately intense conversations with members of my family, but never before have I seen the strive to enforce this fear. People who have been talking about people who've been against vaccines or against masks. I've seen them ripped off of Facebook. I have never seen, I mean, they've had all kind of pornography and every other thing on Facebook. No problem. Violence, everything.
Oh,
It stays right there. But
yeah.
as soon as you say, I believe people should have the right to breathe air unencumbered, or I believe people should not have to inject something into their veins that they don't feel comfortable is going to be for their best interest. As soon as you start speaking that, they snatch you off of Facebook. As much garbage has been on Facebook that has been allowed, I'm just amazed at the intensity of trying to force people into this belief. Mm-hmm. And so that should set up a red flag. Why is it so necessary?
Naimah,
be forced to believe this or face consequences if we speak something different.
Naimah. So what this is about, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, it's about control.
No, go. I'm quiet for it. Go ahead.
It's about control. So what they are propagating is a vibration of fear. Okay, because when you're in fear mode, that's when you can be easily programmed.
Vibration.
Okay, you can be easily programmed when you are in fear mode. Okay, by traumatizing the population and then bombarding them with propaganda, they can easily, because you're bypassing your thinking part of the brain, right? What happens when you're in fear? Blood flows from certain parts of the body to other parts of the body, right? So it flows from the brain because you don't want to have to think about like, oh, well, how do I solve this problem? And goes to where your reptilian brain, right? And your muscles to either fight or flight.
Fight or flight mode.
Okay, but you're not thinking.
Right.
You're not thinking. And so, in my opinion, this is all about control, and it's all about essentially submission. The face masks, right? This is about submission, being submissive, and
what
going.
do you do to women? Okay, you know, I grew up in the Jewish community, and as a Reform Jew, we didn't have to cover our head and cover our whole body and only let our, you know. So in the Orthodox community, you have to wear either a wig or a hat, and you have to keep yourself covered. If you go to, you're going to know what country it is, but they make the women keep their face masked up.
Well, many of the Muslim countries, Saudi Arabia and many others.
Yeah. So, you know, I think anybody who knows me knows I'm geographically challenged. The point is that, you know, those countries don't have freedom.
Well, you know, I'm going to speak. I love my Muslim brothers and sisters, but I want to say this so that we understand with a depth of understanding. There is an energetic effect of covering your face in a way to say, I am not allowed to speak. And it has an impact on your mind. I have experienced it, and I'm saying it as one who has experienced it. What it does to your energy, it suppresses you. It teaches you to be suppressed. It teaches you to behave in a way that suppresses your spirit. And it teaches you to be in that vibration of fear. Fear of reprimand, fear of disapproval. It does not allow for your elevation. And even the idea that is put forth for the covering, the idea of if I don't cover all of my body, then a man may be sexually aroused by me and therefore violate me. What vibration is that creating when you're living in the idea that being in the presence of a man can result in you being sexually violated? That's a horrible vibration to be existing in, and it will definitely keep you at a very low frequency. So we need to understand these things so that we can evolve out of them. Things happen at a certain period in time, and maybe during that time where those commands were in place, where there was a high level of perhaps sexual assault and disrespect. And so you create a system to alleviate that, but that is something temporary so that you can grow out of that stage of your evolution. Nothing is ever meant to stay the same forever. So if 1,500 years later, women are still being repressed in that manner, then that keeps us at that low vibration of fear. And women, no one can free a slave. A slave has to choose to not be enslaved. So it's our decision to acquiesce to that which suppresses our spirit, which keeps us in this low state of fear, that low frequency of fear. And in that, as you said, at that vibration, that's when you can be controlled and manipulated.
So, and I want to add to that. That's a yes and, okay? Yes, and what are we doing to our children? What are we doing to our children?
Yeah, it's a tragedy. I mean, really, in addition to robbing you of a piece of your identity, especially children, they're growing. They need as much oxygen as they can possibly get. When you hamper that as they're growing, I can see this causing trauma to the brain. Okay,
yeah,
I can see how 5-10 years down the line, we're going to have a lot of young people who grew up during this time, who are forced to wear a mask, who have brain damage because of it, or who maybe their brain has been impaired because it wasn't getting optimal oxygen as they're growing. I mean, we're truly doing a disservice to our children, and it saddens me when I walk around and I see these young little kids, like I'm talking 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, with freaking masks on their face. It's like, are you kidding me? Take that thing off your kid's face. I mean, it really bothers me, and especially for the kids, right? Because it's forced upon them. As an adult, if you want to do that, hey, more power to you. If you're that fearful,
you reduce your lifespan, go for it.
Right, but I think it's not as imperative for an adult as it is for a child, because a child, I think, needs more oxygen than an adult does, and they're growing, so they need that.
Your brain needs oxygen.
Absolutely.
I saw that when I went to the grocery store yesterday, and I'm looking at this woman with her child in the shopping cart with a mask on, and I had those same thoughts. How is this child going to grow? How is their brain going to develop when they're being deprived of oxygen on a regular basis? Now, my daughter, who spent 5 years in South Korea, she explained that in some periods of time, people do wear masks because the pollution is very bad. The factories in China are extreme with the pollution, and sometimes the air blows into Korea, so the pollution level is so bad. So people do wear masks as a regular basis. When I visited her there, and we got on public transportation, I saw people on the trains. A lot of people had on masks. I'm thinking, oh, everybody looking like a surgeon, a mask on. But it's because of the air quality is so bad. And then she said sometimes when people get flu, as a way to not spread it, like you go to work and you got a cold and you're sneezing, well, they wear a mask then. Okay, I can understand that. But to have it as a regular daily practice where you always have to wear a mask, that should tell us something. Even in those countries where they do it because of the pollution, what is that telling you? Stop doing what you're doing that creates the pollution. Clean up the air. That's the solution. So we as we go through this, we're going to learn something, especially when we see what happens to this next generation as a result. And every lesson is learned has to sometimes be learned through experience. So we're going through this so that we can know not to do this again. That's really what this is. And this is how we're going to, as a human family, learn this lesson. Clean up the environment, clean up the air, clean up our own bodies, and don't do this again.
Well, and look what it does to our bodies. And I don't know that the general public knows this. This is a really important thing to understand. So, first of all, by masking up, right, and causing all this fear, it puts our bodies into a traumatized state. Okay? It's not a very good vibration to maintain. Now, when you look at traditional Chinese medicine, what they say is that when you are in a traumatized state, you're eating whatever foods that you're eating, your body starts to look at those foods as a predator, hence causing your food to for you to develop food sensitivities. So I actually work with a company out of Florida who's actually going to be on this show in a few weeks. And it sells science systems, and they measure inflammation to, like, I think 450 plus different foods. So we know that they're going to be really busy because the only thing that we've done to the entire world is cause fear and trauma, which will show up as food sensitivities. We've done this by restricting the airflow to the brain, by making people mask up, including children, right? Which is a crime in itself, a crime against humanity, and creating fear about getting a disease that your body, there's a, Raj, correct me if I'm wrong here, isn't it like a 99% recovery rate for
it's really high.
We just won't even use it. They don't.
You have a higher chance of dying by jumping in your car. On your next car trip, you have a 97%, well, 3% chance of dying
in your car.
In your car from a car accident, whatever. So it's about 97. This is 99.9 something. Let's just call it 99% chance of survival.
Right.
Okay. So
yeah,
jumping in your car is more dangerous than this thing.
Well, and here's the thing. I have been on a journey for the last 8 years. First part was getting people healthy, or excuse me, getting me healthy, right? Start with self-care, which is how we came up with the name of the show. And then in 2000, at the end of 2018, I created a program that teaches people how to support their immune system. And when you're no longer putting toxins into your body, you are vibrating at a higher level. Okay, so you feel better, you vibrate higher, your energy is higher, you're happier, you have joy, you have peace. And people don't even know what that looks like. Some don't even know what that looks like because it's so far removed from reality that when you talk to them about it, they don't even know that there's, no end to better. Like, you can be so amazingly healthy. But with that, I would like to, I know that we were talking before. I'd like to kind of circle back a little bit. We were talking about the vibration of music, wearing headphones and things like that. And Naimah, you said when you're walking down the street that you could, you're absorbing whatever it is that you're listening to in those headphones.
Yes. I mean, I have heard, I had this one student one time, I was in high school, and he had headphones on and he's bopping to the music. And I said, why are you doing that? You're supposed to be paying attention. And I just decided to, I listened to the music. I took one of his headphones and I'm listening to the song, and it was this horrible, degenerate song. And I literally started crying because I'm thinking, this is being programmed into his head, and it's transforming his mind, his everything. And this is the power that the music industry has. I mean, as you said, Raj, this can be something that's very healing. You can be listening to healing music. It can be relaxing you. It can be inspiring you. I mean, they've seen how people have come up with new inventions after listening to classical music, or it could break you down and destroy you. And if you put it directly to your brain, and it was just, I was so distraught realizing that this is also done on purpose, because we are putting vibrations directly into our brains through the headphones. And we have a choice of raising our vibration, higher consciousness music, the right frequency, or we can listen to the negative things. And so you look at some of the behaviors, you know, people sort of say, well, some of this music, but nobody really actively maybe breaks it down scientifically how it's directly affecting behavior, health, and mental wellness. So, Raj, maybe you can expound more on that. The frequency of the music, the beat of the music, the sound of the music, the vibration of the music. They've said music soothes the savage beast. Maybe certain music can calm your animal friends in your home, or even animals out in nature, and certain music can disturb them. What do you say about that?
Oh my God, music is such a powerful tool. I mean, look, how would the world be without music? Imagine a world without music. First of all, it would not be a very good place. There's something about music, but there's music to the universe. The universe has its own song, right? You've heard maybe the music of the spheres. Okay, it's a vibration. It's a vibration. We are a vibration. We all interact. And music is just it's a harmonized frequency vibration that either resonates with us or it does not. So, you know, when they changed the standard from 432 to 440, what was the real intention of why they would do something like that? Naturally, okay, to Tibetan monks, when they would create a singing bowl, or, you know, the ukulele, you know, Hawaiian, you know, little guitarist, when they would tune their instruments naturally by ear, they would tune it to 432 naturally, because they could feel it. They could feel it does something to them internally. Okay, and that's that. So they're using their body as a tuning fork, right? To know when the vibration is right. That's the right vibration to inspire, to bring harmony, right? Well, when they changed it from 432 to 440, well, look what's happened since then. It's just been violence nonstop, wars across the globe, poverty, disharmony, disunity, division, right? But it's all about breaking up that vibration of harmony within the people themselves. They've broken down the family units even. Okay. So like I grew up listening to rap music, and I was listening to all that stuff way back in the day. I have it in my family. I have friends and family members that listen to the kind of music you're talking about. And for me, when I hear it, it like actually it's I feel it. I feel the anger. I feel the just the amazingly destructive energy that comes with it. And like, it doesn't resonate with me, but for other people who are in that mindset, but you can see it in how they behave and think and talk, that it's a reflection of the music that they're listening to.
It absolutely is. You brought up something that's so key. So may I pipe in? Okay.
Sure.
So you mentioned how they shifted, like the Tibetan monks, they naturally were tuning into the 432 hertz. That they made the powers to be made a conscious choice to shift from 432 to 440. We know that 440 causes disharmony in the brain. And I want the listeners to think about this. What are people who are in control doing on a global basis before the mask, okay, to subdue you? And let me give you a couple of ideas. Look at your water supply. Since I was a child, they've been infusing fluoride, which is a neurotoxin which was used in the Holocaust.
Just found that out.
Yeah, it was used in the Holocaust to kill mice. But they're going to put it in your toothpaste. They're putting it in your water supply. And now that a majority of people are pulling that out of their water supply, their pineal gland, which is the gland between your eyes, above your nose, that controls or supports your intuition and your connection to the divine, is now less calcified because fluoride will calcify your pineal gland. When they take your temperature, when you walk into an office, don't let them take it at your pineal gland. Let them take it at your wrist, because that's calcifying your pineal gland, and it disrupts and interferes with your connection to the divine. Now, that's one. The other one, going back to music. Naimah, when you talked about walking down the street and you're wearing your headphones, I'm going to tell you that if you're not hardwired, you're having an issue, because the vibration that's in the I think they're called AirPods, so they're not connected, they have Bluetooth. You're putting that by your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself what you really want to have encumbering your brain, because there's nothing more important than your brain health. And all of these things are impacting your nervous system that are controlled by your brain. You know, so I mean, and I'd like to talk about just a few solutions. I did promise the listening public about solutions to protect your energy. So protecting your energy, you can use the 432 hertz. One of the other things I was taught about a year ago was using 2 specific oils, and I put them in this roller bottle. I just made it up. It's got tea tree oil. And tea tree oil, and I actually made a note on this. So tea tree oil actually helps protect your energy. And I think it says for your energetic boundaries, you know, and it's really important to have healthy boundaries, because that will impair or your energy as well.
Yes, tea tree. How's that spelled? Tea tree.
TEA, and then tree, TREE.
Okay.
It's also known as melaleuca.
Oh, now I've heard of that. We got to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to ask about healing music. Is there a way, like if you've got anxieties and things like that, you know, the kinds of music that could heal your soul? We'll be right back after
when we come back.
Quick break. So everybody stick and stay. Don't stray away.
Oh man, God sent the monthly sun bill today. This sunlight is really expensive, especially during this season. I'll probably have to work overtime to pay it.
Well, you better pay it on time. We don't want the sun to go out and we're sitting up here all day in the dark. Wouldn't it be terrible if God charged us for sunlight? Well, thank God, the light and heat from the sun is free. So why are we paying such high bills for the energy we use in our homes? We don't know how to use the sun is free. Energy from the sun. You can convert your regular home to a solar energy home and save tremendously on your electric bill. Take a look at your electric bill. Wouldn't you like to reduce or possibly even eliminate that cost altogether? Let one of our solar consultants show you how. Call today, 312-849-3456. And schedule a free consultation. That's 312-849-3456. I'm Beata, your holistic life coach. Being fit is more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my 3-step protocols to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Beate.
In the Place of Peace pop-up from Tucson Essentials, you were able to increase productivity, mental acuity, leaving you with higher energy and peace in just 20 minutes. We pop up at our office or yours.
You're back.
So we have another listener who wants to chat, but why don't we? Do you guys want to take a caller first, or do you want to go to the music first? Executive producer's call.
Well, we'll take the caller at 312-671 regarding the topic today. Protecting your personal energy, and maybe you can share with us your experiences and the effects of music on your energy. I believe this is Minister Prump, who has a music company, and maybe you can tell us why you decide to promote certain kinds of music and the effect that you hope it has.
You live? You are live.
312-671. Minister Prump, yes, go right ahead.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Sure.
We hear you loud and clear. Yes. So tell us your experiences with music and the impact that it has. This is one of our longtime callers who is, I believe, just turned 75. So he's lived through different eras of music and seen some eras where it actually had a positive impact in motivating people to do some progressive things, and so can perhaps give us a historical perspective on that, and seeing how it sometimes has done some negative things. So what are your thoughts on that, Minister Plump?
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you again. Welcome. We are in it to win to Black History Music, Black Wall Street Music. And I am promoting the world's greatest day. And welcome to all on the Female Solution today, which is a 23 day. In other words, we love you, we want you, and we need your full support, because we will be promoting today is a day of atonement, which is welcome to Black History Day, Black Music Day. Black Wall Street, Chicago is today, February the 23rd, 2021. Music can please, it can please even the saddest beast. The music can help to save your life. The music can get involved with you, and you get involved with the music to your soul. And then therefore, see the righteous music. You got two types of music. You got music that is righteous, that will help to save you. Inspirational music. Music that's all about dedicated to Jah, who most know as Yahshua, who is the Lord of the world, the God of the earth, and the whole universe, Jesus Christ, which is also the Black Mahdi. It is truly our time now to save ourselves, save our children. And music is a direction that we can go in that is a healing. See, today is the 23rd day of February 2020, which is a healing day.
So what music do you use? What music do you use to help people heal?
Oh, well, thank you very much. We use inspirational music. We use the music that is dedicated to God and dedicated to the people, all people.
help to reflect to the spiritual music.
And do you look at the
music
frequency?
that gives life.
Pardon, do you look at the frequency of that music?
Yes. It has a spiritual number that goes with it too.
What spiritual number is it?
Thank you for asking, beloved. We love you. And all that's listening in the Female Solution. It's 277 plus 23.
277.
Success breeds success. That's the music. That is the best of the best. Because it is our time now.
So, Minister Plump, let me ask you this question. Is there a particular, like with gospel music, you mentioned, music that
yes,
is of God. Is there a particular, to your understanding, a particular frequency that a lot of the gospel music has? I remember, just briefly, I remember when there was a shift in the sound of gospel music. It used to be very slow and kind of sad and mournful, and then in later years it changed. The beat got faster and it was more like rhythm and blues music. But there are a lot of people in the old church structures that said, oh, this is music of the devil, it's sounding like dance music. It was music that uplifted you. So what do you think about that? Is there a difference, or what makes good music, healing gospel music, in your opinion? Is it the beat, the sound, the what?
We're going to be featuring the gospel music at Black Wall Street today at 4655 South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive at 1 p.m. to 8:30 p.m.
So is there is there a particular artist that you are focusing on to create a certain vibration with the music that you're playing? Certain ones that you would say, this is the sound.
He was saying that he was using 277 plus 23. When you add those together, you get 21. Raj, do you have something to input on that?
Well, 21 reduces down to the 3.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Minister Plum. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Yes. So now we have another 3, which is balance.
Okay. So should we take our next caller?
I think that's the previous caller we had.
Okay.
Andrew, now. But we got some people on the switchboard. Anybody have something to say? Just remember to press 1.
All right. So why don't we do a couple quick things? I would just want to make sure that people know where to access the 432 hertz music. Okay. And I know that we needed to go back. I think, Raj, we needed to go back to you, I think. But let me just show people real quick here. And so if I do a screen share here, so screen share, share screen and application, Chrome tab, here we go. So we're just going to go to YouTube. And when you go to YouTube, you key in 432, H as in Harry, Z as in zebra, okay? So I just picked out one. It's by Power Thoughts Meditation Club. I'm going to play it. And just listen to how beautiful this is. And I apologize that my voice is over it. But and this particular one has images, for the watching audience, of the forest and the lake. And there is research and evidence called to support that being in nature will reduce your cortisol levels, reduce your stress, and it's called Japanese earthing. So, this is an easy thing to find. Again, go to YouTube. I'm going to stop the screen share here and go to 432 hertz. This is the easiest thing. It's free for you to do. It increases your, it helps you to vibrate higher. meaning have greater joy, right? And there are other ways. Raj, do you want to take it from here? Because I know that you've got stuff to say. And that's why we have you here. So go ahead.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are wonderful tools out there. YouTube is fantastic for stuff like that, versus, watching people hurt themselves and, doing stupid stuff that they shouldn't be doing. But yeah, I mean, there are amazing tools, and I would say utilize them. And music can be a powerful tool, as we talked about earlier. Music will influence you. It does. It's not if or maybe. It might. It absolutely 100% does. Just as anything that we do will influence us. Our emotions influence us. The people we hang around, what we do, how we move, everything. Right? It's all energy, and it's all everything. So I looked up the vibration of 9, and 432 essentially reduces to 9. And this is in just numerology, just to kind of get a perspective on what 9 means. So 9 is a number of universal love.
Wow.
Eternity, faith, the universal spiritual law, and the concept of karma, spiritual enlightenment, and spiritual awakening, service to humanity. I mean, so this is a higher vibrating number, so to speak. And that's what we're talking about. When you're resonating with 432, and there's octaves, right? So it doesn't have to be 432. You take 432 times it by 5, it reduces to the same numbers, right? But it's just having that, let's call it harmonious bioresonance, that it bioresonates with your own body to support it in a way that's going to allow you to be in that restful rest and digest mode where your body can heal. You can actually connect to the universe, and takes you out of that disharmonious fight or flight frequency, right? So music can uplift, it can soothe at the right frequency, right? And so that's why it is powerful. We know that the ancient Egyptians were using crystal singing bowls, massive ones, okay, for healing. Sound healing has been used for a long time.
Have you ever used selenite for healing? Like the happy.
I have a selenite right here.
Oh my goodness! I left mine downstairs. So it's your happy. That's huge.
I know.
Wow.
I could feel the vibration. It's kind of been with me the whole time. But this will clear your energy. Reset it. It brings such a calming energy to you. Yeah. So got my selenite right there.
So selenite. I have a friend named Donna that several people on the show have met, and he uses a smaller version of the selenite, which is called Selenite, and she calls it the happy stick. And when her children are happy, he waves it around their head. Change that energy, right? It's hilarious. So I have a lot. Actually, I use that when I shift the energy in a home. Like I clear homes, I clear the energy in a home. And when I do it in person, I bring selenite and I put it in specific areas of the home where they have portals, so that I can either just close the portal, clear the portal, or just bring good energy to the portal and other parts of the home that have energy that's like stuck to the walls. People don't realize, and quite frankly, neither did I, when you get into a fight with someone in the home, energy sticks to your flipping walls.
I would love for you to expound on that, because I had a friend who they got married and got an apartment, but the previous couple that lived there had a violent fight,
Oh, and my honey just brought me my selenite stick. My knot are nearly as big as yours.
Wow.
I'm a warrior. I got a selenite sword. So.
So,
An
Naimah.
energy warrior.
Yeah,
Wow. So you gotta have things to change energy, because you know my friend, when they didn't know why suddenly they were just having this anger at each other, almost to the point of violence. And then someone told them what happened to the previous couple who had lived in the place where they lived, and she told them, you have to wash all the walls.
yes.
So is that
Yes.
you wash away negative energy?
You do it. People who are listening, get your notepads out. I'm going to teach you how to do this. Okay. So you want to clear the energy in your home. First of all, selenite stick. I don't know that you need to get the sword one that Raj has, but these are cheap. I mean, I think I got a huge box of it for $12. You get it, just Google it. Selenite, Selenite. Number 2, lemon essential oil, frankincense essential oil, and coconut oil. So first of all, you need to clean the house.
Ooh.
Clean the house with lemon essential oil. If you have wood, I want you to combine. You can go to you can email me or go to Facebook and send me a message, whatever. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, not so much on Instagram. But anyway, it's Tucson Essentials if you need to get this and you're not in a place where you can write this down, okay? So you combine coconut oil and lemon essential oil. I'm not going to give you the parts right now. And you clean all the wood in the house. It's going to raise the vibration level of all the wood. Now, mirrors are portals for entities to come in.
Woo!
Oh, yes. That's why if you go back to the Jewish tradition, whenever people were sitting Shiva, they covered all the mirrors with blankets and towels. Think about that. Why were they doing that? These are portals for people who've passed over. Okay?
Wow.
So now you're going to make something for that. Again, lemon essential oil. You mix it in a bottle with water and vinegar. Okay? So, and then you put it in a spray. You clean all the mirrors with this concoction of vinegar, lemon, and water. Just God's concoction, right? It shifts the energy. When we were preparing a friend's house for sale, there was this one room that was full of mirrors, and it was a portal. When we cleaned those mirrors, you walked in, the energy was different. It felt good. It felt amazing. You shift the energy just like that. Now, next, the other thing is clean your own personal energy. Frankincense essential oil. Okay. So frankincense is used for meditation. It also does cellular repair. So we're talking about cell care and vibration. It helps you get into a meditative state. It actually repairs the cells in your body. We know this to be a fact. And there is evidence to suggest that it actually helps with people who have cancer, right? Because it passes through the blood-brain barrier. So, but if you are taking the frankincense, you're putting it into a diffuser, okay, and you're diffusing it into the room, you can shift the energy. Now, a really cool thing I did, naughty me, because I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Give me 1 second, because unless you have your Healy with you, Raj, that you can show without me having to reach over and, okay, everyone's got their Healy. Awesome. So when we were selling the house, I have the resonance model, which means I can send vibrations of energy through the air. So when we were selling this house, we set the house up in the Healy, okay? the address, the longitude, the latitude. We put it all in there. And then I vibrated the house at a good level. Sold. Yeah. So you can do that. And I just found out there was a woman who has a tower garden, and she's in a tower garden is a hydroponics plant. So you plant your vegetables indoors. And so she ran the Healy on her tower garden, and she didn't run it on the other one. And one grew like crazy, and the other one's just kind of like, eh. So that's my next thing.
Wow.
So, plants, animals, they love good energy. When my parrots are not happy, I have 2 beautiful birds. When they are not happy, the music 432 hertz goes on. Going back to your friend who moved in, they're capturing the energy from the people from before. So they have to clean that house. Now, the other thing is, if you have, I was a cranky monster for the last 4 weeks or so, because I realized that when we moved into our new home, the light bulbs were all LED. Yeah. So LED, not only does that, there's evidence to show that it will cause prostate cancer, will impair your retina, will give you macular degeneration, amongst other things. I mean, those are just the top 3. For me, that's an electromagnetic frequency. It's not a happy frequency. It's a unhappy frequency. And I was an unhappy girl. So, so we went to the store. Not all stores carry them. And we got the halogen light bulbs and switched them all out. And when I was searching this, I found out that in the United Kingdom, they won't even let you buy halogen.
It won't.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So again, going back to what is the government doing and approving for you, for your well-being? What are they mandating? How is that impacting your energy? Start asking why.
I got a quick question before we take a break.
Yeah.
Regarding
that was fast.
Yes. Regarding the energy in your home, I had a friend who went through, they had someone close to them pass away, and so they went a lot of grief and everything. And we went to their house, and their house was just like a mess, the just totally disheveled and everything. And it seemed like it was maybe an expression of their grief, because they had just allowed things to just go to pot, dishes all over the place, the clothing unwashed, just everything. When you're going through something distressing, does your environment begin to reflect that in terms of the way it looks, maybe the cleanliness, the disorderliness? And if you clean it, will that change your energy, or do you have to change your energy in order to clean it? I mean, how does that work?
So yes, and yes. It can manifest as disorder. So when my mom first passed, I was not an energy healer at that time. Things were disheveled. But then my mom started speaking to me from above and guiding me. And so she's been one of my spirit guides for since she passed in 2010. So here's the thing. You can let it get that way. The answer is yes. If you are going to take control of your health, okay, you can manage that and lift it up. It doesn't have to be that way. When I go into people's homes, I show them how to clear the energy. So a lot of times, now here's the other thing. My mom was a happy soul, okay? Sometimes if someone passes and they're not a happy soul and they're hanging in your house, you may want to ask them to leave.
Wow.
If you don't know how to ask them to leave, you want to call me, because I will get them to leave. You get them to go to the light, go to God. They don't need to be hanging on you. People who are not happy have souls hanging on their body, hanging in their home, because going back to the very beginning of the show, we were talking about how we're electrical beings, right? We're nothing more than an ever-ready energy bunny, right? So we're either charged up with good vibration or we're charged up with bad vibration. And an entity comes into your home, someone who's passed, that's just an entity, mom, dad, okay? So it's not like a bad thing.
Their energy.
Yeah, their energy. And, you know, my belief is that souls live on. So either they have good energy or bad, but they're going to suck your energy. And I've had it happen where I had to call in somebody who was stronger than me to release the entity that was sucking on my heart chakra. No, it was scary. And I was new to this at the time. I was very scared. And so I called in the troops.
Wow.
So if you have people who've passed and your energy shifted and you don't know why, it may not be because you're depressed. It may be because they're sucking on your energy.
Might I add a little?
Please do.
Wow.
Can Raj add to that before we go to commercial break? Naimah?
It's 8:31 and we need to go to a break because I need to
Okay, so Raj,
comment.
right back to
So,
you.
because I'm going to have to leave.
Okay. Oh, and then, okay, so we'll do both.
Yeah, we'll be right back, and definitely want to hear more about clearing the energy in your living space, especially if someone is hanging on and causing you emotional distress where you live. Yeah. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi, this is John Alexander.
And I'm Naimah Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world. Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV.
YouTube it. We'll see you soon.
There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their story to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naimah Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago, and other cities at your local cable listener.
Suson Essentials leads you to wellness by giving you access to more than 20,000 sustainably produced nutritional products delivered direct to your door.
Jodi Suson of Suson Essentials is certified by the #1 functional medicine doctor on plant-based healing essential oils, which are revolutionizing the way we manage our well-being. Schedule today to take control of your health. Hi, I'm Naimah Latif. Join me and my co-host Kareem Hamid every Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the Female Solution Radio Show as we explore that relationship that is the foundation for our society, the relationship between men and women, husbands and wives. Join our discussion as we seek to repair broken family ties and rebuild our community. Listen online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to our host. Or you can join us live on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the-female-solution.
All right, we are back.
So we have, Zelda Robinson, my dear friend here, who talked with us while we were all, chatting. And Zelda, I know that you wanted to say something. You wanted to pop in, and so I'm going to give you the microphone.
Thank you so very much. Greatly appreciate that. Hi, Raj. Hi, Naimah. Thank you so much for allowing me to participate this morning as I'm sitting here all wrapped up, programming myself. And when you said programming, it's like, look, you got to go get camera ready, girl. Go put your teeth in, put your hat on, so you can go in here and you can tell the truth. I'm at a season in my life, you know. I say what I feel, and I said it, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, this is so very, very important because this is a part of the programming process. When you talked about programming, and Minister Plump was on, I said, OMG, you have got to hear this. For those who don't know, my background is in broadcasting radio. I worked over 20, almost 30 years in radio. And the last station that I worked at was WGCI, Gospel Radio 1390. For those who listen to Dusty Radio 1390, V103, Herb Kent was the king of radio. At Clear Channel, it was Clear Channel at the time, there were 7 studios: Kiss FM, Light FM, GCI AM, GCI FM, a couple others I can't remember. But the GCI studio, which was hardcore rap at the time, rap had just came out. Next to that was V103, which was a little jazzy, a little more smooth, a little R&B. And next to that studio was my studio, which was Gospel Radio 1390. So if you had a long song and you wanted to go get some water, coffee, tea, use the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, whatever you want to do, you had time to do that. And while you were doing that, you would always pass by the other studio. And I thought something was wrong with me because I could feel the different energy when I walked past the studio. So I was always in a hurry to get back to gospel, because gospel, I didn't know the music frequency, but I could feel the difference in the energy. And it's like, I used to go in the GCI studio and say hi to Sundance and all the others. Jocks were there, but I stopped going. And I'm thinking to myself, do they think I'm antisocial? Well, not antisocial, just anti against that strong message in that music, which was thump, 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 ho, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch. That kind of music, I didn't know the term then, did not resonate with me. At V103, I was okay because it was kind of cool and left back. But when I came back to my studio, it's like I was on fire. I felt alive. I was sending out a positive message. And that is the message that resonates with people on a higher vibration. I'm learning all about vibrations now, thanks to you and Healy and Roz and all that. And now I understand why people act the way they act. They think the way they think, because we're being programmed. And this is a good program. I love Healy. They're being programmed. And I talked about that in my first book, The Passion Principles, Pathways to Purpose, Power, and Profit. I put a whole chapter on programming. And I noticed whenever I went to a book signing, nobody ever said, they talked about all the celebrities that were in the book, my stories, other people's stories, but they would never talk about the programming. And now, as I'm listening to this show today, I understand why. Because they didn't understand. What I knew from working in radio is that we started the nonprofit organization called the Higher Learning Network.org, where we teach youth behind the scenes radio, television, and print programming. What the public and the students don't know is that there is a whole department called programming, just like marketing, promotions. There's a street team, there's everything. In that marketing and promotions, in that programming, every hour on the hour, there's a certain amount of songs with a certain vibration, now that I'm understanding, that has to be played. R. Kelly was big back then. You heard R. Kelly, and it was unheard of to hear 2 songs by the same artist in the same hour. You would hear 3 of his songs. Body calling for you. Pregnancy rate went up. Don't ask me how. That's what statistics show. But that programming still exists today, and the facial diapers is a prime example of it. I love the fact, Raj, when you talked about how I've got notes. I got a ton of notes here. I'm always writing notes because I sometimes don't remember them all. How the vibration of the fear keeps us in a different frequency, and we can't connect because of the frequency that we're operating on. Last but not least, during my Monday morning mindful meditation, I wanted to incorporate some type of music. And so I'm speaking to the ancestors, and the word bowls came up. I'm like, bowls? What am I going to do? Go get some bowls and get a bowl and tap on it? And nah, that doesn't feel right. And so I'm online looking, and Tibetan bowls show up. There's a Dr. Laura somebody, I can't even remember her name on Facebook, and she's sitting in front of about 4, 5, 6 different bowls, and she's having a Tibetan bowl ceremony, and all you hear is bing,
Yeah, the tone.
bing, and it's so calming and so relaxing. It's like, I got to get those bowls, and the bowls are expensive. They run from like $100 to $600 each, and it's like, okay, I'll be starting out with one bowl,
right?
But I said all that to say this: I understand, I overstand how the programming processes work. That's why I cannot walk around with a no. I just can't do it. I just can't do it, because programming is the number one thing that keeps us in fear, and it keeps us from disconnected, where we can't hug each other, we can't love each other, because you think that way and I think this way, so we can't connect. And it's working. The whole world. We're all in fear.
Right.
Except for those of us who have a Healy, who know better. And for those of us who are on this show, and for those who are listening to this show, they're beginning to think, they may have some validity there. I need to rethink this mask thing. I need to rethink this whole thing, because the government, the medical profession, and there's another one I can't think of what it is, but they're all in cahoots together. Because I said to myself, how can the government allow this to happen? Because they're part of it. They started it.
Absolutely. I mean,
I just finished the interview with Jeffrey Haas, who is the family attorney of the Hamptons, in which he wrote a book, The Assassination of Fred Hampton,
I have that,
where the former U.S. former state's attorney Ed Hanrahan, the Chicago police, and the FBI planned the murder of the Black Panther Party. And it's just coming out 30, 40 years later. They planned it. The U.S. state's attorney gave the blueprint to the Hampton home. They were on 2700 West Monroe or something like that in Chicago. At 3 o'clock in the morning, had a dawn raid and killed the man in his sleep. Now, this is what your government, the FBI, and the police allows to happen, and we're supposed to be okay with that. And for those who are interested in it, please go to my YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV Show, youtube.com, Higher Learning TV Show. I just did a 2-part series with the attorney, and the things that he told me, some things he said you just can't say on camera. He said most of it in the book, but we get last words. We have got to learn to think on our own for ourselves. Cut it all off.
Yes.
TV, radio, everything but the female solution, of course.
That's right.
And
well, I want
go
to
within. All the answers are right here. And thank you for the message of the mirrors and the portals. And thank you, Raj.
Thank you.
Thank you
there's so much information
for having this show. Have the insight to have this show.
Oh, yes.
Well,
and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I want all of us to share more, and I think that this topic is so huge. I'm going to invite, and I just put this in a private message to everybody, and I'm going to put you all on the spot on live radio. Get ready, here it comes. I want us all four to look at the possibility of doing this same show and taking a deeper dive once a month.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So we'll look at dates offline, but there's so much to share, and we're just scratching the surface. And the four of us are so eager to give more information. And I think that if we know that we can do this once a month, we'll make sure we get all the information out to the universe. It was interesting, Naimah, prior to you calling me and offering me this beautiful opportunity to share my knowledge with the world, I was speaking to Raj, and Raj and I were doing an event with MPI, which is the Meeting Planners International. And I said, and afterwards I said, Raj, you remember this? I said, Raj, we need to raise the consciousness of the planet. We need to raise the vibration. And here we go.
Here we are. And it's important to know that we are all connected to the source of all life, the universal mind that runs the universe. And there is nothing more powerful. So it doesn't really matter if there are those who are trying to disturb the peace and keep people in fear. They cannot win. They can only be a temporary disruption in the ultimate plan, which is for the source of all life to bring us all to a state of enlightenment. Now, some people might take a little longer to get there, and some people might have to go through some life lessons in order to understand, but we're all going to get there. So all we have to do, as you said, is to connect with each other, connect with those who are vibrating at that frequency where they can receive that information and transmit it, as we do on the Female Solution and other programs where people are at that frequency and they understand. But we do have a large group of people, a large number of the population that has been programmed to fear. And so this is going to be an interesting exercise in removing fear. But it does happen. Just look at everywhere in history where people have been stuck at a state of fear and not willing to go against the grain or go against the popular belief. But yet, because we all work for the Creator, we are expressing the Creator, we are a part of the universal mind of creation, we know we're on the right path. And the message that we have, once a soul can raise their vibration and be on that frequency, it's just like, Zelda, you were talking about the radio station. Just like if people had walked past those other stations, now if they stopped there with the music, and all of the sound, everything, then that's the message they're going to get. But if they can manage to move on past that and finally get to that highest frequency, then they can get the message. Just like if they got to your studio, they'd hear that message. So we want to try to raise people's frequency, raise their vibration so they can get to that frequency where they can hear the message that we're putting out, and then they can receive it and accept it, and then they'll behave differently, because that's what all behavior is caused by. You're receiving and accepting a message of truth.
And we wonder why our children act the way they do. Listen to what they're listening to all day. I didn't, because I don't have any children, I didn't understand why parents, why do you need to be all up in that music? Why do you need to listen? Because there are hidden messages in that music.
Yep.
Disney proves that. Have you looked at cartoons lately? The messages, the sexual messages? What does a 3-year-old need to know? A 3-year-old need to know about foreplay? Really?
Let's talk about the 60s and Roadrunner. He was
yeah.
Wow. Tell me about
since the beginning. We've been programmed since the beginning of time, and we're so programmed we don't even know it. And I used to talk about them. I realize I am one of them.
Yes.
So as an awakening them, it's my responsibility to share what I know. And I don't care if you don't get it, because I'm trying to beat this message into people who just don't get it. And then I said, you know what? Just stop. All you can do is put it out there. You can't, what they say, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I am. I put it out there. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. They have to get to that point where they are able to, their vibration has to be where they can hear it and receive it. Just like they need to walk past that studio with all the negative music, had to walk past the studio with the music that was okay. And then they have to walk to that studio where that divine message is. They have to choose to walk there, just like they have to choose to advance in their thinking before they can finally get it.
You can't force it on them. I tried with my aggressive self. Nope, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
It's definitely not how it works. And I love both of what you've mentioned, Naimah and Zelda. I mean, it really does come down to that programming, and there's a reason they spend billions, hundreds of billions of dollars on programming your brain, your consciousness. Naimah, you talked about being connected to the source, right? Here's the beautiful thing. We cannot be not connected.
right.
We're always connected. What's disconnected is our consciousness,
Right.
our awareness of it. Okay, so it truly is a war on our consciousness,
Mm.
and this is where they operate. Okay, there's a reason they spend those hundreds of billions of dollars. Okay, these are business people. Why would they spend that kind of money on programming your consciousness?
Yes.
But it's something that they have to continually force.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't come naturally. Okay, the pandemic, if there was a real pandemic, it wouldn't need a media campaign. To convince you that there is
a PR company. You don't need a PR company.
Yeah, you don't need a PR, it would be self-evident, okay? It would be like, okay, yeah, there's really something going on, and everyone would be shitting their pants, okay?
Jesus didn't get that kind of PR,
Right. It wouldn't need a media campaign and that whole marketing that goes with it, okay? They're spending so much time and money and effort on controlling your consciousness because that's where the gold is. And it's a journey that you have to take. Earlier in our little talk here, I talked about, hey, beyond being aware of who you bring and what you bring into your space, your energetic space, whether it's music, it's people, it's the environment that you're in, the things that you do, but first and foremost, your own thoughts and your emotions. Responsibility for your own thoughts and emotions, and that's where it starts. You start there, you become the light, right? And that's how you transform people. The way you help people change is you change yourself.
That's it.
You allow yourself to be a reflection, a mirror.
Right.
And then that's the way we do it. We can win this overnight. And all it takes is, number one, is our consciousness needs to say, okay, I'm no longer going to be dwelling in the basement. I'm going down. I'm going to the roof.
Amen.
Okay? And then when you do that, right? So then they can't control you.
Up the ladder to the roof where we can see helium above. Oh, and I got to get those sticks too. You got to tell me where to get those sticks, Jodi.
Honestly, I don't remember. I Googled them. Raj, where did you get your sticks?
Well, I got this in Florida, a place in.
Oh, we're going to Florida. Which part of Florida?
Coral. So I got this, by the way, too. This beautiful little.
Oh, nice.
That one's new. So yeah. So So actually, I do want to give a plug. Do I have time? I do. So
this is your show. You can do that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's all of us. So I wear a lot of necklaces, and I'm just going to tilt this. You're not going to see my face, but you're just going to see the necklaces for a moment.
Beautiful.
So the reason I wear these necklaces, I wear jewelry with intention. You'll notice there are no diamonds.
Okay? Yes. What we've been programmed to buy. Diamonds, not stones.
Can attract, love and money, but this is I forgot which. Raj, do you remember what stone this is? Is this?
I got one.
It looks like labradorite, actually.
Thank you. So that's what it is. It's labradorite, and it helps you attract abundance.
Ooh, okay.
Big stone, and I got it up here too. This is Child Destiny. This is for harmony. The rose quartz is for self-love. This one, and I don't know the name of the stone, and I'd have to ask Camille Carr, the one who created all this jewelry. So this one, labradorite, helps you connect with the divine as well. So it keeps you connected to spirit. So, you know, if we bring Camille on for a short stint sometime, she actually makes all this jewelry. And when I was living in this house that had like 9 portals in it,
Wow.
Whoa.
I need all the protection I can get.
What is this stone here? Can you tell me what this is? Oops. How do I? Oh, put it up there. No, you can't see it.
It looks like a quartz. It looks like a smoky quartz. Raj, what's your take?
Can't tell from what I'm shiny. I can see that, but I can't see the color of it.
Is it
It's
clear?
like a light greenish.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but
I can tell you this, because I can read all energy. It's got great energy. You should hold on to it when you meditate.
Oh, okay. And I'm about to do that.
Yeah, so I use my stones, and I'm sure, Raj, you do too. When you meditate, you have a really cool white one. Where's that one at? Are you wearing that today?
no, not at the moment. I left that one in Illinois. I'm in Florida.
Well, the next show, you're just going to have to wear it, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I got that one in China. It was a white jade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to make sure that we have time to talk about, like, tomorrow's your show. Do you want to just give Naimah, people a quick, summary about what you're going to be talking about tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow we're doing, I guess, the last of our men's only discussions on relationships. And tomorrow we're going to have the men be very candid and look at what did I do that contributed to the ending of my last relationship. And knowing what I know now, what would I have done differently? And it's an opportunity for the men to really be self-reflecting and take responsibility. It's easy to blame somebody else because it makes you feel better. But if you really look at what you did, then it helps to teach someone else who may be going through the same thing. So this, and of course, our host, Kareem Hamid, always does a wonderful job in helping men be candid about their lives. And we're simultaneously broadcasting on AM 360 Blog Talk channel. So we're on 2 different channels. Now the women, we're on Facebook Live on the Female Solution Facebook page. We're making comments and everything during the commercial breaks on what we hear. And so we say, join us tomorrow. We will be here for our last men's only roundtable discussion on relationships. So join us for some real revealing information.
Raj needs to join one of those relationships with men. Yeah,
that sounds interesting. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
And by the way, LEB something. That's what this is. It's on the back. I didn't see it. What did you say?
E is in Edward, B is in boy.
B is in boy. LEBRO.
Labrador. Oh, Labradorite.
It could be Labradorite. Does it have like blues in there? And does it look a little bit like this one?
Or like this one?
Maybe some greens and some blues. It's
that one.
There's some greens, some blues, some brown. Yeah.
That's nice. So that's for abundance. It also will protect your energy, and it's great for meditation and connecting to God.
Well, it's interesting that all 3 of us have it on.
Wow. Divine order.
Yes, absolutely. Great.
Naimah, we're going to have to get you one.
Yes. I need a stone. I need to be stoned.
Yeah. Yes. Go get stoned. Y'all remember that song from the 70s? Oh, let's go get stoned. Okay,
CBD farmer coming on. So let me tell you, we can talk about that.
All right now. This has been a great show.
Yes, it is.
Too bad it didn't air on Facebook, but they can go to YouTube and watch it live, But we're going to do this once a month. I know, Raj, we have you scheduled, I think, in a couple weeks anyway. So is it March 6th?
I believe so, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, Naimah and Zelda, if you can join March 6th.
We'll be in Florida.
Tuesday, the following Tuesday, we should be back, right? Wait a minute. March 6th.
We leave on the 4th.
Right. So the 6th is Saturday. Yeah, we'll be in Florida then. So it must be the 6th, 7th, 8th.
Must be this.
The 9th, I think.
Yeah, so I'll check.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We'll be back.
yeah, we'll figure it out.
Not if I can find a trip or find me a place to stay there for a month. I won't be back. Shh, don't tell my husband I said that.
Well, you just get on anyway. Get on from wherever you're at.
I am. I need heat, honey. These bones need heat. I need heat. This cold weather.
Trading places over here.
Say that again, Raj.
We're trading places. I've been down here for about 3 weeks. So.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Yeah,
Well, that's the place to be. It's snowing here, so yeah.
That's what I hear.
Even though it's thawing out today, it'll be 32. We can go outside now.
That's a heat wave.
Yeah, that's a heat
All
wave.
the windows.
I need to be in Florida.
So do I, on a permanent basis.
Thank you. I agree.
Absolutely.
I'm manifesting permanent Florida.
Thank you. I agree with that.
We're at 9 o'clock. So
Yeah.
thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Been a blessing to have everybody, and we will. I guess we're still live on YouTube, but just it's been a blessing. Zelda, Naimah, Raj, to have you all here. You are all gifts in my life, and when I count my blessings, I count you twice.
Likewise, my sister.
Love that
Love
thing.
you guys.
Likewise.
Yes.
We're all connected.
Yes, we are.
So let's go get stoned. I gotta hit the gym.
Okay. Wait till you see my CBD farmer.
Okay. Alrighty now.
All right, ladies.
Okay,
You
Florida,
have a
Florida,
wonderful day.
Bye-bye. How do I end this? Oh, end broadcast. There we go.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
Shalom.